Hello everybody, this is Bonnie from Bonnie's Creative Place, and I am here with you with one of the new products that is in the new annual catalog, and this is Feather Fun. I have had so much fun with this set. I'm going to show you some of the cards that I made with it. I should have had these out before I got started, and I forgot. So let's get them out now. But I made this one, Sending Love. And then I made this one that says hello with a cute little parrot in it. And then I made this one that says Happy Anniversary. And it's got two little parrot birds. And then the one that is my absolute favorite that I'm going to share with you and make with you guys today is this one. And this one says thanks, but the one that I'm going to be doing is going to say happy birthday. I'm going to change up the greeting in this card. But this is the card that we are going to make today. I love this little set. It's really cute. It's fun. It's quick, simple little cards that you can make with this set. So the first thing I did was I took a scrap piece of Whisper White, and I ended up taking the the cloud punch, and I just punched it out different random spots along here so that I could have a stencil for making the clouds on the card here that I did. And if you don't have the cloud punch, in the surprising or sunrise sailing that we have, that's an online exclusive, there is some cloud dies in there that you could maybe die cut out some different shapes on it. You could use circles too to make different clouds, but this is how I made mine. So the first thing we got to do is we got to take a piece of Whisper White. My Whisper White is 5 inches by 3 1/4. So we're going to take this and we're going to put it down, and we're going to go right about here. Yeah, right about there. And we're going to take a blending brush in the Balming Blue. The best tip that I can tell you is if you have a heavy hand, start way off the page. As you could tell, I have a heavy hand, so I have to start off the page. But you want to try to be light, so dab, start way over here. See, I'm not even near my things, and I'm putting the ink down, and I'm slowly coming towards the edge. And then I'm going to dab again, and I know this may seem like you're wasting a lot of ink, and it may look like you're not doing anything, but you really are. It may not even look like anything on the... Oops, and then I moved it, so be careful. And it may look like you're not doing anything, but you are. You are putting... Oh, this wants to keep moving. Maybe I have to hold my hand here too. If you have one of the mats that you could put down, like the sticky type mats that help hold it, that would be wonderful to use, but you always want to start off the page up here. It's almost like you're sponging this base, your template, more than you are your actual card. And you kind of are, because you just want a light cloud like that. You just want, I don't even know if the camera's picking it up. You want something that light. And then what you're going to do next is you're going to bring it down. Now, I didn't want the same pattern above as exactly in the bottom, so I offset this. I went kind of like this, and I offset it a little bit, and I went closer to the bottom. And then I'm going to hold this, I'm going to dab, and I'm lightly sponging. Lightly. And the very first couple times I did it, take some copy paper if you want. Just be very, to see the feel that you have to get, to know the pressure before you use your good cardstock. And just make sure, you know, you're lining up and getting the pattern that you want and the look that you want. And then when I moved it over, I just moved it over enough. And be careful that you don't sponge right here. Like when I was sponging over here, if I sponged there, it would have hit it. So I don't want to do that. So just be careful. Just be mindful of what you're doing. Okay, so now I am done with my stencil. And I'm going to put this away. And now what I did was I took my my paper and I turned it sideways like this. And I'm taking my ruler and I decided that I wanted to come down to 2 3/8. And I'm just going to take one little pencil mark and I'm just going to put a tiny mark right there. And then I'm going to come up here and I'm going to do the same thing. And I'm just putting a tiny little pencil mark right there. Then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to draw a line from pencil mark to pencil mark. But I'm not drawing it with a pencil. You want to take a fine tip pen that you have, marker type pen. I don't know if we still sell the journaling pens that they had for the scrapbooking. I would have to check that. But one of them would work. And then you're just going to put this right straight across, just like that. So it looks like it's a telephone wire. And it looks like I had some black ink on me. And I got it on my card right there. And there's probably nothing I can do about it, but that is card making. So we're just going to go with it. And then we're going to stamp our birds. Now I stamped these birds. Oh, I got to get my little... this was a, I took masking, not masking, it's called masking tape, not masking, masking tape or paper, and I stamped this on a piece of this paper, and then I fussy cutted it out so that I had this now. So that's how I did that. And we're going to use this here in the next, and you can use this over and over for quite a while before it becomes where it's not sticky anymore. And there's something on the outside of that that keeps getting on me. And then I'm going to stamp this up. And I'm going to stamp this one. Now, when I did this the first time, as you could see, the purple face isn't quite on there all the way, and I'd like it on a little bit more. So on this one, I'm going to scooch it over a little bit so there's a little bit less of the red bird. So I'm going to stamp him down. And because I wanted them all like very close, I am going to put this mask. And the most important is you want this side more covered up. You don't really have to worry about the other bird because the other bird isn't going to get stamped over. And then we're going to stamp up our birds again. And then we're going to crisscross the tails, but the body is going to touch the other bird's body. But just pay attention to where you're putting the feet. You don't really have to worry about like where the body is and all that. You just want to make sure the feet are on the wire. And then we're going to do this again. And we're going to keep going until you have 3 sets and then a little purple one. And I don't know, some of the other purple one might end up being on here if I went too far, because I only did one purple bird, but it does have a partner, so we'll see if that one is on the card with it. And I tried to make it so it was not, so it might be a little bit, we'll see. We go, tiny bit, not enough to worry about it. And then we're going to remove the mask. So now we have this. So now we're going to have fun. And I'm also, while I got this black ink out so I can put it away, because I know I'm going to touch it again, I'm going to stamp. Oh, that didn't come out very good. You know what? That's okay. I'm going to take my black marker. I'll probably fast forward this, but I'm just going to go over some of the colors, the parts that did not come out very good. I should have practiced this one. See, there's always a way to save something. There we go. And that looks good. Alright, so now we're going to do some coloring on this. And I'm going to tell you the colors that I used. And then I'll probably end up fast forwarding this or along. But I used Real Red Light. Now all these colors are the light colors. So I used Real Red Light, and then I used Daffodil Delight Light, and I used Pumpkin Pie. Well, the next color will be Pumpkin Pie. I tried to do a rainbow effect. And then I used Pumpkin Pie Light. And I didn't do any blending. I just used the blends. Kept it very, very simple. Okay. And then the Daffodil Delight Light. There's a little bit of the tail there. I've always loved the cards where the little birds are sitting on the wire that people make. And I was always waiting for Stampin' Up! To come up with birds that could sit on the fence like this, a bunch of little ones. So I finally was able to do this. We've had other tiny birds, but I wanted a little bit bigger than the tiny ones that we've had in the past to do it with. And then I used Granny Apple Green Light. And then I am taking the Summer Splash Light. And it's kind of like a blue-green. Okay. And then I am taking the Azure Afternoon Light. And I'm going to color this one in all light here. Okay. And then the last color I used was the Highland Heather Light. And we'll color this last little birdie in. I think my Highland Heather is getting ready to go. I got one on the order here. Okay. And then the last color that I did use, I used a Crush Curry, just regular marker, and I went in and I colored all the beaks in the Crush Curry. Okay, so that's what I did there. So we can put this card together now. And all I did was I took a piece of Balming Blue, and that piece is 5 1/4 by 4. And I'm going to put our stamped piece right on top of this. And then I am going to take this piece and I'm going to put it on our base white, which is 8 1/2 by 5 1/2. And it is scored at 4 1/4. I'm going to put it right on there. And then I went ahead and I took some of these, right here, what are these called? These are rainbow adhesive dots. And I ended up taking these ones down here because I thought they're the ones that looked the most like a cloud. And I'm going to put one larger one right there. Then I'm going to take a smaller one and put it next to it. I took another small one and put it over here. And then I took another large one and I ended up putting it, it's not on the end, I ended up putting it right there. And then I took another one and I put it right next to it. And that was how I made my cute little rainbow birds cards. So I hope you guys like, comment, subscribe, all the good stuff, everybody. Thanks for stopping by. Bye-bye.